Hey everybody, it's Scott with Starkey Family, Gaming and Fun. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Now today we're going to do a cooking video. We're going to make some magically delicious cheeseburgers. So first off, you need ground beef. You need an orange pepper. You need an onion. You need some cheese. And we need some Lucky Charms. Well, if you're asking at this point, why Lucky Charms, what do you think is going to make them magically delicious? Okay, for this you'll need at least 2 plates. I'm just going to use some paper plates here. So one of them is going to be for meat, and one of them is going to be for everything else. So if you haven't already at this time, go ahead and get your onion ready. Chop off both ends and make sure you get the peeling off because that's just nasty. Okay, so depending on how well you like onions, cut one for each burger. Okay, make sure you pop out the rings, depending on how much you want. For me, I'm just going to use a handful. That's plenty. Okay, we're going to move on from the onions now. Now we're just going to simply go through and do the pepper. Okay? So this right here is actually plenty for me. All we're going to do with this is we're going to come down and slice it. And that's about all we really need right there. So we're just going to move that off to the side. We don't need this larger chunk here. Okay, that's about all we need. Okay, next thing is get your cheese ready. I like putting a slice on the top of the burger and on the bottom. So there's my cheese. So I've got everything laid out. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to switch up the plates. This is going to be the plate for the meat. So grab some of your favorite seasoning. Put some there on the plate. If you want to use salt at this time, you can. I'm just going to use a little bit. Okay. I'm not going to overdo it. And then the next thing is we're going to layer some Lucky Charms in here. It's really important to get your Lucky Charms out here in the middle. You may end up, pouring a little bit more than what you need, but that's fine. Make sure you got plenty of marshmallows in there. Okay, so now we're going to do some preparations for the first burger. So take your stick of meat, squeeze out what you want. Okay. So now this is very important. This is where people really screw up with meat. You don't want to really smash it hard because you're losing the juices out of the meat. So you're just going to try to get it worked around a little bit, like so. Put it on your Lucky Charms. Flip it over. Spin it on the plate so you got that seasoning on there really good. Now try not to squeeze it overly hard. Because like I said, you don't want to end up screwing up the juices. Because that's one of the best parts of the burger. Other than the marshmallows. Okay. So, get the thickness of the burger that you want. About the rough diameter of it. Okay. So now, I've got one burger. So let me go ahead and pull this out of the way here so we can get another burger in here. So let me squeeze this one here out. Okay, so that broke in half, that'll be fine. Okay, make sure you get these Lucky Charms in there and the seasoning. Just kind of knead it a little bit with your hands. You just want to make sure you get the Lucky Charms right there in the middle of the burger too. Now, I like large burgers, so that's why I'm actually making a large burger. Okay, flip it over a couple times. Make sure you press those marshmallows into this. Okay, I think these burgers look pretty good right now. Okay, so this is what you're going to end up at the grill. Okay, so now we're out here at the grill, and it has been raining, of course, so we've got some wind, so if you hear that. Now I'm just going to take some olive oil and spray on here, just so nothing sticks. So now, we're going to take the burgers, set them right down here on the grill. Now keep in mind, you want to make sure that your grill has had a chance to preheat. So this one here has, I'm just going to add on a third burner so it's kind of even. Okay, the burgers are starting to cook a little bit now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the olive oil and lightly coat it. So what this is going to do is, the olive oil is actually good for you, decent for you anyways. But when you go to flip this burger, it's not going to stick as well. So that's what we're actually looking for. Now we don't need to keep spraying every time we flip them. This is actually sufficient. Okay, so we've had them on there for about a minute and a half. So let's go ahead and flip them. What we're doing is, I like eating thicker burgers. So with thicker burgers, they take a little bit longer to actually cook. And with the Lucky Charms actually inside, we have to be careful because we do not want the Lucky Charms to actually burn. So you can cook cheeseburgers, you know, different ways. Normally, I would cook one, if I was going to just make a standard burger, I would cook about 3 minutes on each side. And normally, you know, maybe an extra minute if I need a little bit extra time, depending on the weather out on the grill. But normally it's about 7 minutes on a burger, I'd say. These right here are going to take just a little bit longer, but we're going to have to flip them quite often, which is fine. They're still going to get cooked, but when you have to flip them more often, this is going to be more like a 10-minute burger. Now these are actually smelling really good right now, but I wanted to show you something. As you flip these, you may end up losing some Lucky Charms here and there. And that's fine, because you don't need to throw those away. All you have to do is just take them, you scoop them up, and guess what? You actually got a snack for in the meantime while you're eating or waiting for the burgers to actually cook. Ah, these are actually good warm. This is actually pretty delicious, I'm telling you. Oh, these burgers are actually looking really good. Look at these. Aren't they turning out great? Now I'm going to tell you also, I might add, that this recipe was actually handed down to me. This is actually a family recipe. My mom, right here, as you see, she's the one playing Guitar Hero with me. Now, she's the one that actually handed this down to me. And this is actually, she's an excellent cook. And she makes all kinds of weird stuff like this. And guess what? It always tastes good. Now, I'll tell you what, these things are looking really good. I wish you guys were here to smell this. This is actually brilliantly good. I can't wait to dig into them. Look at that juice just coming out of there. You see that? Okay, so now we're getting to the point where the burgers are about done. So now we're going to go back and take the onions and peppers, and we are going to cook them for a little bit. Okay, so I want to emphasize, you know, the grease that piles up back here on the back of the foil. Don't be afraid to put them onions and peppers into them. That's nice, flavorful grease. That's a good thing. So what we're going to do now is, we're going to take the onions and peppers, bring them together. Now we're going to take our burger, set it on top of the onions and peppers, and we're going to cook it like this for a few minutes so all these other juices mix in. Now I'm going to add also, when you go to set the burgers on there, make sure you turn everything up to high at that point. So we're at the very end here. This is where all them flavors are going to start popping out of everything. So this is what we need. Turn your grill up to high. And if you're using a charcoal grill, put it right in the flames. Okay, so you might be a little bit different. Myself, I don't really like the cheese cooked on the burger, but that's fine. But it is now time to remove the burgers. And all we're going to do is, we're just going to take an onion. We're going to put it on there. We're going to take a pepper and put it on there. And this is about all we really need. Whoops, I dropped one. That's fine, we got more, right? Okay, so it's gonna look just like this. Now, I also like having ketchup on my burgers. So since we actually use salt in the mix, I'm gonna use no salt ketchup. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so I just want to show you that I'm not switching out the burgers or anything like that. This is a real recipe, and this is actually really good. Okay, nothing has changed. This is absolutely delicious. Can you see it inside? This is absolutely delicious. So I'm telling you, you maybe think I'm joking about this whole burger thing. I'm not. This is absolutely delicious. You need to try it. This is really good. So anyways, if you haven't already, right now is a good time to hit that like and subscribe button. And make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when I'm making my next videos, and you can come back and watch and learn. You all have a great night. Thank you for watching.